All right, chat. Now we are going to go react to how Chungking Express changed my life twice. Raul's Video Underground made this. Go check him out. He has 379 subscribers. It looks like it's a very well made video, so big shout out to him. And yeah, let's get into it.
On the way to Chungking Express. I'm one of those people. There's a certain kind of romantic dreamer who, no matter how old they are or where they're from, will find their way to Chungking Express. I'm one of those people, and if you're watching this video, you probably are too. This movie changed the direction of my life twice, and that's what I'm here to talk about. This video is going to be a personal essay. It's going to be about my journey with this film and what it did for me at different stages of my life. I'm also going to talk about what I think this movie is ultimately about, because I have a personal take on it that I haven't quite seen before.
Yeah, so, okay, I've seen this movie before, right? And I get the cinematography in it was so good, right? And it was a really great movie about two different perspectives of love story in Hong Kong, which is me growing up in America. It's such a different way of life because I grew up in suburban neighborhood, Tarpon Springs. Yeah, I grew up like Tarpon Springs, but it was just so different to see kind of that side, and so I'm curious to see what he has to say.
In case you're wondering where I am, I'm writing, filming, illustrating, and editing this entire video in Chongqing, China. I wanted to go to the city where Chungking Express and the Chungking Mansions took its name. I also wanted to write and edit this video spontaneously, almost as a way of mirroring the production of the film itself. I first found this movie when I was around 15.
The animation, by the way,
I was
pretty gnarly. That's pretty cool.
Out-of-place teenager at the time. I was trapped on the Gold Coast, the hellish suburbs of the Gold Coast. And this movie right here, this movie found me right when I needed it. I remember discovering it on SBS. SBS was the weird experimental channel for Australian TV, the channel for art house foreign movies I didn't quite understand yet. And when I started watching it, I didn't even really know what I was looking at.
If HBO Max didn't have this movie,
China?
No way I'm watching it. Like, no way. I'm just randomly stumbling upon it.
Really fucking cool. I was hypnotized. Because there's something about this movie, this smudgy, hypnotic movie, that pulled me in from the very first frame and refused to let go. And what I remember connecting with the most, beyond the dreamy aesthetic, was the feeling that loneliness, as depicted in this movie, wasn't something to be mocked or ashamed of. In Wong Kar-wai's special little ecosystem.
No, yeah, this shot right here that he's showing, I was like, how the hell does that, how do you even do that?
Lonely people weren't pathetic.
You know?
In fact, they felt like the most interesting people in the world. And for 15-year-old me, that feeling was liberating. It was something I needed to see. In a parallel universe, I would have gone to bed early that night and never discovered Wong Kar-wai. But in this universe, I ended up seeing Hong Kong for the first time, which eventually inspired me to travel. Because this is the movie that showed me how exciting our world can be. How secret universes existed inside random apartment buildings. It showed me that there was more out there than theme parks, surf shops, and suburbia. Because when your own country's media looks like this, and this, then this becomes your escape.
Right, like what I was saying, sorry for another pause, but what I was saying was like, yeah, other movies, it's like war movie, Saving Private Ryan, hell of a good movie, you know, but like, there's something in watching this movie, I recommend it to everyone, it's like, the coloring, like the color grading's way different, the environment's way different, it's just a lot, it's a nice, cool story of
even after many years passed, this movie stayed with me, the way certain movies do. This movie stayed with me, the way certain movies do. 2024 was the year I traveled the world as a digital nomad, and this movie, with its hypnotic little soundtrack, found its way back to me.
What is it? It's
I decided to travel. I traveled through Portugal and Vienna and Budapest before reaching a crossroads. It was either Hong Kong or Bangkok next.
That's sick, bro. I wish I could be able to travel, but I'm broke.
In this universe, I chose Wong Kar-wai's Hong Kong. I'll talk more about the significance of that at the end of this video. And when I was
like,
in the
it's
taxi,
so
heading out of
different,
the airport, hurtling toward the city, a certain name appeared in my phone: the Chungking Mansions. So I booked a room and I stayed there. And let me tell you, there's nowhere on the planet quite like it. The Chungking Mansions is a strange place. It sits right in the middle of Tsim Sha Tsui, one of Hong Kong's most chaotic neighborhoods. It's a derelict, insane-looking building. On the inside, it's a fucking maze. A vertical labyrinth of guest houses, curry restaurants, and electronic stores, all crammed into one crumbling block. The second you step inside, someone offers you a SIM card, and then someone else offers you a suit. And then a third guy offers you hard drugs. And all of that chaos is baked into the film itself.
It's kind of also
Wong Kar-wai didn't build the set to make
I went to
this
somewhere
movie.
like Japan.
Instead, he
It's so
borrowed the
weird. There's
city
just dudes
itself.
selling you whatever on the
He
street,
shot
bro.
Chungking Express in the real Chungking mansions on real
Like
Hong
they're
Kong
straight
streets.
live frogs.
Not only that, but he shot the movie entirely without permits, which would never happen today. He literally dragged his cast through real crowds in real streets, describing the shoot as a bank robbery. And the Midnight Express, the tiny food stall at the heart of the film's second story, that was a real place. The guy running it, he
Dude,
was
the
an
thing about
actual
this movie I
friend of
remember the
Wong
most
Kar-wai's.
is California
And the
Dreamin'
apartment
plays
Cop
like 10
663 lives
times.
in, that was the
Like,
real
literally.
life home of cinematographer Christopher Doyle's. It's this lived-in nature of the film's production that makes the movie feel so alive. And the reason this movie was shot so freely is because they made it so quickly. The whole film was written, filmed, and edited in 3 months. Wong
Crazy,
Kar-wai was
bro.
basically running on fumes. He made it right after making a movie called Ashes of Time, a wuxia epic that took 2 years off his life. Chungking Express was meant to be a quick and dirty release valve, a way for Wong Kar-wai to fall back in love with his own creative madness. Next, I want to talk about what I think this movie is ultimately about. Let's talk about parallel universes, because Chungking Express shows two. This movie is a diptych. That's a term from fine art painting that describes a canvas split into two contrasting images. Chungking Express tells two separate stories of two separate cops, but with the same lonely and broken soul. And as one finds salvation, the other finds tragedy. Because according to this movie, there are only two possible fates for the romantic. It's either complete doom, a point where your brooding sadness gets so intense it hypnotizes you off a cliff, or you find that special someone who somehow makes the world make sense. Chungking Express gives us
Dude, yeah, coming into this movie, I was like, I didn't know. I just saw it on HBO Max and I watched it because I saw a TikTok like talking about the color grading and the aesthetics and stuff like that. So I go into this movie and then I'm like, the first scene of the movie is all these like Indian dudes running and like running from this woman on the right. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I thought it was like a drug like movie. I didn't know. And then it turns out to be this freaking romance. I'm like, what in the world?
simultaneously. Let's start with story one, the story of Cop 223. Cop 223 has just been dumped by a girl named May. This is someone who's so sad that he runs just so he can't cry anymore. He calls every girl he went to primary school with just to hear a voice. And he's obsessing.
Dude, I thought this dude
over
was gonna get some
expiry
hugs,
date of a
bro,
can of
but
pineapple, which sounds absurd until you remember that Hong Kong itself had an expiry date. In 1994, the handover was just 3 years away. It's politics in pineapple form. On paper, Cop 223 is a disaster, yet he has a certain dignity to him. He isn't all pathetic and nebbish like a Charlie Kaufman character. He's just sad, and the movie doesn't judge him for that, which for 15-year-old me who grew up on American films was like a breath of fresh air. And around halfway through Cop 223's story, he meets the woman with the blonde wig. She has no actual name, and that's intentional. This is the woman Cop 223 becomes fixated on. She's a drug smuggling murderer. And this is the tragic,
right,
dark
that's
side of
what I'm
the
saying. Like,
diptych.
what the hell?
It's
At the beginning, I was like, what the hell's
nighttime
going on?
story to Faye Wong and Tony Leung's dreamy daylight. It's the story of two people with nothing in common and no chemistry, briefly sharing a hotel room in the middle of the night and not even touching. As Cop 223 turns 25, the woman in the blonde wig wishes him a happy birthday via his answering machine, and then disappears to kill someone. That's how their story ends. In a parallel universe, he would have met Faye, but in this universe, he just missed her and walked right into the hands of the femme fatale, like a rookie cop catching a stray bullet out of sheer bad luck. In
Yeah,
my
it is low-key
opinion,
bad luck,
Cop
bro.
223's story feels like the first half of a Greek tragedy. The woman in the blonde wig is a femme fatale, a cold-blooded killer, and given his nature, Cop 223 will continue pursuing her. He'll continue digging into her business, like a naive lamb walking straight into his own slaughter. And even though we don't see his death, Wong Kar-wai kind of sets it up. It feels like it's coming. But maybe that's just my doomer take. What do you think?
Yeah,
And
I
that
didn't think he
brings
was
us
gonna
to
die.
The flip side of the
But
mirror.
I was,
The second
dude, I was mad when they switched because I thought it was gonna go more in depth. I thought it was only one perspective. I was like, what the fuck? What the hell do you mean it's only one perspective? Or I mean, like we're just losing this guy forever. Like I want to know what happens, but that's what it is.
story in Chungking Express. Cop 663 is also heartbroken. His girlfriend has just left him. His apartment is a complete mess, and he's talking to his soap and stuffed animals as if they're his therapists. And then Faye Wong enters his life. Faye's often read as a manic pixie dream girl, but what makes Faye interesting is the fact that Wong Kar-wai seems aware of the archetype, even if we hadn't yet defined it back in 1994. Because Faye doesn't exist just to fix Cop 663. She's running away from something herself. Her dream is to run away to California, to reinvent herself there. And on paper, she's a little bit insane.
Which is also weird in
Faye
the
has
movie.
access to Cop 663's apartment key.
Yeah, she'd
and
always be like
uses it to
cleaning.
break in and redecorate. If you ask
I'm like,
me,
what the
this
hell?
isn't normal behavior. In fact, in any other situation, this would probably read as a bit of a red flag, a blemish on the
Right?
old dating resume. But maybe Cop 663 is a little bit crazy too, and maybe that's what makes them perfect for each other. And that's another thing I like about this movie. It doesn't dwell on the weirdness of its characters, it just presents them, which in turn makes them feel real. But anyways, back to Faye. When Cop 663 finally asks her out, she stands him up and disappears to California.
Yeah,
But
also I was
unlike
like, what
Cop
the hell?
223, Cop 663 is a little bit older. He's a little bit wiser. He has the emotional intelligence to read people without being blinded by his own infatuation. He knows that Faye just needs time to figure things out. So he waits for her. And then after a year in California, she finally comes back. And I love how this movie ends. Instead of ending on a kiss, it leaves you with a feeling of hope. Wong Kar-wai just leaves the door open, and that ambiguity
that
is
is
what makes
true.
the ending
I was
work.
like-
So what is Chungking Express actually about? I don't think it's a love story. I mean, not really. I read it as both a diptych about fate and as a quadriptych about loneliness. It's a four-way mirror that reflects the different ways
Yeah,
human
it's a
beings
thinker, bro.
handle
It gets you
loneliness.
thinking.
Some become desperate while others run away, and some become numb while others never stop believing. And what I also find interesting about this movie is how much it's grown in popularity since 1994. Gen Z has completely adopted it. And I think the reason it feels more alive now than it did 30 years ago goes way beyond the aesthetic. It's no secret that we've become lonelier in almost every facet of our lives. And what's comforting is how this movie doesn't pathologize that. It just sits beside you without judging.
Yeah, I will say, oh my gosh, you sit there thinking, like, oh yeah, hopefully it's gonna be happy. For the first dude, wrong. We're just gonna never see him again. And the second one, you don't even get to see the happy part. You're like, well, I'm gonna let you think, or like you create the ending that you want to fit. You know, it's really open ended.
Maybe that's why it keeps finding new audiences. I first found this movie at 15. I was a lonely, out-of-place teenager trapped on the Gold Coast, and this movie allowed me to recontextualize my circumstances. I then found it again later, after a breakup, where it inspired me to go to Hong Kong and stay in the Chungking mansions.
Yeah, I feel like this
That's
would
why
be
I
a
love
good
this
breakup
so
movie, to be
much.
fair.
It picked me up off the couch and forced me into the world. And after Hong Kong, I ended up in Taiwan. Taiwan is where I met my partner, another digital nomad, and she's the one I'm traveling with now. In a parallel universe,
see,
I
good for
went
bro.
to bed early and none of this happened. But in this universe, I didn't, and we're here now, and it's fucking beautiful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. Dude, absolutely fantastic movie. I would definitely go watch it, bro. Like, and everyone knows it's good. I would definitely go recommend it, you know? Okay.